But how about this one? What do you think is an important change that needs to happen in the VTuber community, Rima? This is a very general
Ooh,
question. It's very broad, I know, but what do you think?
that's a tough one. First of all, I think we need to stop gatekeeping people. Like, I don't get the gatekeeping aspect. I also don't get it in anime. Even on my videos, I see a lot of comments of people gatekeeping and calling people that only watch clips non-fans. It's like,
Ah,
bro, if you support somebody, you're a fan. Not everybody has time to watch 10 hours of live stream a day.
yeah,
And
no, that's true.
you can like something because it's popular. That's fine. Like, if you're trying not to like something just because it's popular, then I'm sorry, but you're a loser.
I feel
I
like
don't get that.
I feel like you're misconstruing gatekeeping for elitism. Elitism. What do you think?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that could be called elitism too, but I think a lot of people use that, like, they call other people tourists that they feel are not as implicated as they are into supporting their Oshis. Do you
Mm-hmm.
still think that's elitism?
No, not necessarily. I do actually have. I've also said this. Chat, stop shitting on her. Chat. I mean, nobody's shitting on her. Nobody's shitting on you, Rima. But it's like people are disagreeing with you. Um,
Okay,
I think
that's fine.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We have different opinions. We just have to be civil about it. I actually do think a little bit of gatekeeping is important, but I do agree that some forms of elitism, not elitism and gatekeeping is like bullshit. I actually do think that the example that you provided is one case that I think is not like that's not good. Fucking obviously, yeah. Like I feel like what you said is true. People if if people think that that people have to do a certain action must catch on to someone 24/7 or else they're not a real VTuber fan. I feel like that's not a thing. Yeah, sure, you're not a dedicated, not a dedicated, but you're not like a deep VTuber fan, but you're a
Hmm.
casual fan. I feel like casuals get shit on a lot. Me, like
Yeah.
I don't think someone being a casual is not a sin is all I'm saying, you know? Yeah, like fake fans, fake fans. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. There's no such thing as a fake fan.
Hmm.
Just not as a big fan as like any other else, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think everybody should be free to enjoy whatever they want to enjoy. And also, the other thing is the different kind of models that people want to have. I know there's some kind of feud between Live 2D users and 3D
3D users?
models,
Oh, yeah.
or that the 3D models are looked
Okay.
down upon a
Yeah.
lot.
That's a great example for when gatekeeping has to be abolished, honestly. I have seen those
Yeah.
sorts of people. Yeah,
I
fuck me,
mean,
man.
back to why I think gatekeeping is, it's back to my other point. Sorry if I'm being confusing, but I think I always imagine, like, would your Oshi that you're trying to defend want you to kind of keep at an arm's length the casual fans? No, they'd want to have the biggest audience that they can. They'd want to have the biggest reach that they can. So the people that are trying to gatekeep are kind of hurting the VTubers that they support more than that. That's why I think that's kind of a negative. And then for the 3D model stuff, that's a whole other ballpark. I feel like we
Yeah.
should have a little. I think people should be free to express themselves and represent themselves the way they want to. Sure, I have an affinity for Life 2D models, uh, because that was my first experience with VTubers. That's how I first like discovered them. But I think there's other perks to 3D models that we don't have as Live 2D, like freedom of movement,
Movement.
and there's a lot more things you can do. Yeah.
The funny thing about that, Rima, I don't know if you know this.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the Kizuna Ai era, it used to
Mm-hmm.
be the fucking other way around, which is interesting, right? It really just
Yeah.
it really is just okay. So for some historical context, back in 2016 to 2018, people used to gatekeep live 2D VTubers and think that the 3D VTubers are the actual VTubers. Fucking live
Mm-hmm.
2D, now fuck off. You're not a real VTuber, stuff like that. Yeah, it used to be the other way around. And now It's exactly what you said. And now some people are not really liking 3D VTubers, and some are even not. Like they think that just because they think that Live 2D is better, they start shitting on that certain VTuber. Like they shit on certain styles and stuff. It's actually weird. Yeah.
Do you think that's part of human nature to have this reaction to things?
Yeah, no, I think
Because
so
we
too.
keep seeing it happen.
Yeah, I do think so. Human nature, I think it's in human nature to be defensive of the
Mm,
things that you like. So if you like a
yeah.
person, a particular thing, let's say you like a particular culture, and you've always wanted it this way. This is perfect for you. You've learned with it. You grew up with it.
Mm-hmm.
You are into it. But then, by some uncontrollable factor, right? The world changes. Change
Yeah.
forces the things you like to no longer be the way you wanted them to be, and you get
Mm-hmm.
defensive about that. I feel like that's the cause for many other like problems, not just gatekeeping and elitism.
So it's fear.
In a way, it's the fear of change. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
fear of change. And I've always I mentioned this in a past video too. I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
reason
I
why a
can
lot.
agree with that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a lot of reason why people um generally dislike it when things that they like get tampered on. But me personally, I don't. That's has happened to me too, by the way. Like the things that I liked have been tampered and have been changed, but
Mm.
I no longer have the same hostile reaction as I used to. I used to be a kid back then, so I do understand. I used to like fucking call out people, like fucking not necessarily make death threats, but like make all sorts of shit about them.
Of course.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used.
I mean,
Yeah,
we've
but
all been through this phase. Yeah.
yeah, but the more I learned about that's just how people work, That's how I work.
Yep.
That's how my brain is wired to think. The more I learned that that's just human nature, the more I kind of the more I've like repressed that feeling, the more I started to understand or see where people are coming from. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I do sympathize with some people when they do
Mm-hmm.
gatekeep. And in some ways I agree with them, but obviously there are cases where gatekeeping is not allowed, where elitism is not where gatekeeping is cringe and elitism is cringe and all that sort of stuff. It's
I mean,
basically
I
yeah,
understand them. I don't
yeah, you
necessarily
agree
agree
with
with
them.
them.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you if you have the conscience to see what you're doing and to stop yourself before you actually act on it, then having those thoughts is completely fine. Is what you do with those thoughts that's can be negative if
Yeah,
you
no.
decide to take negative actions. Yeah.
Just be fucking civil is all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be
I mean, I
civil.
kind of just let other people live. But I kind of have like this ideology that let other people do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. That doesn't yeah, generally that's what my philosophy my ethics and my philosophy kind of revolves around too. Just leave people be. But obviously
Yeah,
if they start harming other people and like, they harm a crowd or stuff like that, yeah, maybe that's when you need to step in or maybe you need to call them out, stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, somebody has a comment that's said that, for example, with the whole localizer thing, they're saying that these people should be gatekept because they are actively hurting uh, the anime industry, which is sort of a good point. I don't really have an answer to that
Yeah.
yet. I haven't thought about that enough.
No, me too. A lot of people. I haven't. It's not that if we're not really invested in that. Is all I'm saying.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
I don't really care. I don't really even watch anime anymore. So it's like,
no
yeah,
time,
yeah. At the end of the day,
only the
right?
grind.
At the end of the day, right? You get invested, you get mad, and you get like, let's say, emotional over the things that you care about. But if you do, if
Yes.
yeah, and if just because you care about the things you're passionate and you're emotional about the things you care about, doesn't mean that you should make other people care about what you think too. Obviously, it's different and it's a case by case basis, but generally speaking, just fucking let people be, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to control what's out of your control is just gonna be hurtful to yourself at the very end of the day.
Yeah, no,
Is
that's true.
you
It's just,
have to just let it go.
yeah.
You can't control other people, you can't control other factors outside of yourself. You can only control what you do.
That is true. So, um